The thrower buff in the latest balance changes have completely broken Clash of Clans. A new strategy appeared yesterday where you're dropping every single troop in one single corner and it's basically impossible to fail no matter what modifier you're playing. Don't believe me? Just stay tuned. With that, hello and welcome to yet another video. My name is Gum and this is the attack strategy we're going to dive in today. It's basically just mass throwers with a few healers and mass totem spells. And how incredibly broken it is, let's take a look at that right now. What's really important with this strategy is the combination you see in the Warden of the Rage Gem as well as the Life Gem. And that brings us already to the first replay where we have this base from Abraham Ali and we can see this is Legends League. This is Legends League with the Legends League modifiers. So defenses are like 10-15% stronger. Of course it got a little easier within the latest balance changes, but still those modifiers are quite solid. And just take a look. He has already dropped every single one of his troops. You drop every single thrower in the left corner. You drop your heroes down in the left corner. And you drop the log launcher in there. And that's everything. Then the rest of the attack you just have to do is deploy totem spells. Now it's just a matter of deploying totem spells wherever. Just constantly tank those defenses no matter what. And that's all you have to do. Those throwers, they are not going down. They have the Life Gem on top of them. And also they have the Rage Gem on top of them. So they have those healers in the Rage Gem. And they are getting constantly healed. They have a ton of HP now with the new balance changes. They got so much extra HP. And you can see basically the base is gone and he hasn't lost a single one of his troops, or maybe like one or two or so. He basically lost almost no troops. None of his throwers went down. It's absolutely incredible how insanely easy it is to get 3 stars with this. And I can't tell off, I just can't tell enough. This is Legends League modifiers. If you're playing normal Clan Wars or any of the lower leagues, you will have even an easier time. And also in esports mode, the pros have tried it out in esports mode. It's the complete same thing. You just spam everything in one single corner and the base is gone and there's nothing you can do about it. So it's basically just a matter of talent if you actually manage to fail with this attack strategy. It is near impossible to fail with it. And this is just one base. Let's just take a look at a few more replays just so you can really see how incredibly broken this attack strategy really is. Next base, and here we have this box type of base, and normally on these kind of bases you would say, okay, I choose one flank to go in from and I basically have to watch out when it comes to funneling and so on. No! With this attack strategy, just no. Vibes deploys every single one of his troops at the 12 o'clock corner. And basically has all of his throwers, all of his healers, Kokoloons, and so on. 12 o'clock together with the log launcher. King on the left side, Queen on the right side. Support one side with the Royal Champion. And the throwers are going to do the complete rest. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing the base can do about it. It is, you can't even think of a simpler attack strategy to completely demolish bases. It is just demolishing everything that comes into their path. Those throwers are just throwing those spears and demolishing everything that even comes close to them. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing that is able to stop them. Just take a look. Once again, base is basically gone within a minute. We are not even a minute deep into this replay. It is so incredibly fast. It is so incredibly strong. And once again, almost none of his throwers went down. Of course, now if the throwers have like no support, if they have no healers on top of them, or if they don't have the Warden close to them, they are of course going down quite fast. But just take a look at, once you have those healers, once you have the Rage Gem, as well as the Life Gem on top of them from the Grand Warden, they are not going down. It is basically impossible for them to go down. And with that, this base once again has been completely overrun. It is, I I just can't put into words how incredibly broken this attack strategy is. It is just completely unbelievable. It probably comes close, if it's not even more broken than Root Fighters at Town Hall 16. And I don't know how many of you actually played Town Hall 16 with the Root Fighter meta, because it was just, on the esports level, it was a time race. And with this attack strategy, if it doesn't get an emergency nerf incredibly soon, it is going to be a time race in esports once again. And within if this attack strategy, it basically needs to get a nerf today, because tomorrow Clan War League starts, or they have today as well as tomorrow, or else Clan War League is going to be an abomination. Because just take a look also on this base, you don't even have to think about funneling. It is incredible. No funneling needed, just deploy everything in the middle of the lane, and the throwers, they are just going to do their thing. It doesn't matter, they split apart a little bit. But even if you have like 7-8 throwers down the middle, they are not going to go down. They do so much damage, and they are going to destroy everything that comes into their path. And also, bases are of course currently not optimized for throwers, but it is incredibly hard to actually optimize bases for throwers because of their incredible range. So as long as, like, of course, you have to take into account that bases are not optimized right now, and once they get optimized against this attack strategy, or against throwers in general, it is getting a little tougher. But still, then you have the problem that these throwers are not going to go down. So they need a little more time to actually take down every single building, because they can't reach everything as quickly as possible, but they don't go down, so it is just a matter of time. So even if bases were actually built against this attack strategy, it probably still doesn't make a difference. And now let's also take a look at one of these bases that are, one of these base types that is currently dominating Clash of Clans, where you have like a few buildings with a ton of walls around them, and then just every single one of the defenses are just put around that wall abomination or whatsoever, or how you want to call it, this incredibly ugly base type. And just take a look at that, even these bases where you actually have a few defenses that are not reachable for throwers, even those bases stand no chance, because as I already said, those throwers are not going down. So if you have a few unreachable defenses, it is just a matter of time for those throwers to actually take it down and get you those 3 stars. And once again, I have to mention, this is Legends League. If you're not in Legends League, if you're for example in League 33, 32 or anything below that, or you're looking for an attack strategy to use in Clan Wars as well as in Clan War Leagues tomorrow, it is near impossible, if not completely impossible, for you to fail. Because you need 2 brain cells to execute this attack strategy. You need 1 finger to deploy every single troop at the 12 o'clock corner, at the 3 o'clock corner, any corner of the base, or just any specific point of the base. You don't even have to think about it, just choose anything, deploy every single troop there, and then the only thing besides that you have to do is just deploy every single one of your totem spells to just distract those defenses. You don't have to think about a Grand Warden's Eternal Tome or a Grand Warden's ability where you want to use that, because you have 2 passives on there, and on every single one of the other heroes you can just go into our auto ability, and it doesn't really matter. Only exception is maybe the World Champion, where we have the Rocket Spear on there. That is actually maybe going to need a manual ability from you just so it outranges those defenses. But even if the World Champion just goes down, you probably don't even need it. I have seen replays of professional players doing this attack strategy in esports mode, so in the highest possible modifier mode, where you have equipment caps and so on, and 20% extra damage on top of those defenses. I have seen people doing attacks there and not using a single one of their spells and completely overkilling bases, just because the combination of throwers, healers, as well as those 2 passive abilities from the Grand Warden are so incredibly strong. If you want to try out the attack strategy, the link is as always in the description of the video. With that, I would say see you guys hopefully very soon with the next video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.